AlphaTauri's Yuki Tsunoda had a difficult start to his F1 career in 2021. He would often start pushing from FP1 and sometimes crash as a result, which would put him at a disadvantage throughout the race weekend. This was reflected in the results, as he scored less than a third of the points his teammate Pierre Gasly scored. Yuki has now made some honest revelations regarding this to Motorsport. I'm your host, Dillon Shelley, and first up on Formula World, Yuki Tsunoda accepts he was a lazy bastard. Yuki began by explaining how he used to be lazy and how it affected his preparedness for a race weekend. Until I moved to Italy, I was just a lazy bastard. After training, straight into my house, turn on the PS5 and do gaming for the day and try to enjoy myself. Then actually in race week, I was always rushing. I would only start to prepare, then I think it was too late. He added how overconfidence also played a role. I will say I had too much confidence. I was feeling it was too easy, I would say, for Formula 1 because I didn't have a massive shunt or any of these strange things. It was all under control, so that's why I expected it to be easy. He then divulged how a few crashes completely dented his confidence. As soon as I had some crashes consistently, I started to feel a question mark about my confidence and feel it was quite difficult, much more difficult than I was thinking. It was especially hard for how I built up for the race week. The approach was completely gone. I would always try to nail it, try to push from the first free practice, and in F1 it is difficult to do that. He then elaborated how he hit a low point. At one point, my confidence was completely zero. I never had it in the past that my confidence was completely almost nothing. As soon as I realized I had consistently slow pace in a couple of races, I had to push harder. Tsunoda then pointed out how a change in approach helped him. In the end, results and the pace are the most important things in F1, so I changed my mind, especially from the first session, and I started to think the opposite way from I won't crash. I had about 8 races in a row where I didn't have a crash, and that's why I'm here. He signed off by summarizing 2021. It was a big year. I never had such an up and down season. I have never had such a situation in my racing career, so definitely a big year for me. Fast feed. Alfa Romeo's Valtteri Bottas has explained that the decisions he made personally are just purely what he wanted, nothing else. I feel like it's definitely good timing for that. So, one thing is completely new cars, and Alfa Romeo switched focus very early for next year. Also, the budget cap gives more opportunity for smaller teams to battle at the front. Retired F1 World Champion Jacques Villeneuve is of the opinion that Michael Masi should not be removed from his position. He was under enormous pressure from the two team bosses. In particular, Toto Wolff, who kept shouting in his ears for the last 5 races. Alpine's Fernando Alonso thinks that the viewers have to decide if F1 needs to change something. The new format with sprint qualifying didn't change anything for the race teams. It wasn't better, it wasn't worse, it was just different. AlphaTauri's Pierre Gasly pointed out that he was 9th in the Drivers' Championship in 2021. All of the 8 guys ahead of me are the drivers who are running for the 4 best constructors. That's why it's important for me to show that if there's a free seat, I should be the first choice. Pirelli's head of F1 and car racing, Mario Isola, has revealed that they have designed the 2022 tyres to continue to have different strategies, a mix of 1 and 2 stops. It is also true that with a new product with less degradation, it is possible that we will have less pit stops and the majority of races could be 1 stop. For me, it is not an issue as long as we have good races and action on track. When the overtake is too easy, it's not good. It's important that the drivers are putting a lot of effort into overtake. That is exactly what spectators want. Will Yuki Tsunoda be able to match Pierre Gasly in 2022? Head over to my community page to vote in the poll and let me know what you think in the comments. And if you like this video, feel free to subscribe and check out my others for all the latest in the world of Formula 1.